Welcome back to Tech Lounge. We kicked Sasha out because we had to have the trifecta of collaboration. If you guys, it's official.
Set on air.
It's still there. So if you guys have been watching Tech Lounge or following any of us on the internet, you'll know that Michael Fisher from Mr. Mobile now, no longer Pocket now.
Right?
And then Josh Vergara is still repping Android Authority.
Great to be back.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us,
So
buddy.
Tech Lounge at IFA 2016.
I ran here.
He ran, yeah.
I took a cab because we're in a civilized city.
I took a cab from a guy here. I'm just going to say this real quick. The worst part about tech shows is by far having to navigate through the sea of people.
Yeah.
It's like literally someone walking diagonal to where you are now. Just
Always this. Just
Just
like,
like-
excuse me, please.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm sorry.
I don't know if you've run into them, but there are gaggles of cosplayers with pointy swords.
I did see that.
Ah,
No, I have not seen that.
I did indeed see that.
All around Razer and Acer, there's a lot of cosplayers, and they have a lot of swords, and then they suddenly do this.
There's a lot of purple hair today. Like there's a
purple
lot
hair.
of different colored hair. It's the IFA Youth, right? Isn't that the one that it is?
The IFA Youth Hall of Fame. I haven't been.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a millennial.
I don't know. I've only seen the sign for it. Like all the signage is very
It's because
professional.
they
It's very
have
business.
the
And then,
sign spinners doing the
well, yeah, but the
IFA
actual
Youth.
logo itself is also like really like skateboard font. You know, it's like IFA Youth.
I went like 2 years ago. It was actually it's a pretty good time actually.
It's a very dope.
What
There's
did
a
they
lot
have?
of like very hip things going on there, and you walk around and you see things that, like for me, it was like anime and all that stuff, which I don't really watch anymore. But it's interesting watching it in German for a while.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then all the cosplayers, and they have like costume contests and stuff like that. It's an interesting place.
Actually, it's kind of smart for IFA to target the youth in any capacity, I think.
Oh,
'cause
absolutely.
Tech shows in general, I think, have a reputation for getting a little more stodgy and a little more...
But actually,
a
I
little
think
less
you guys are
exciting.
missing the biggest thing that we never ever get to see. You know that area right in the middle of IFA that we
Yes.
never ever go into?
Yes, you're so
The
right.
Summer Garden, where it has
yeah.
all the bands
Where all the
and
crazy
like food
concerts are there.
trucks
Yeah.
and like
So
and
it's
like beer
not
drinking. No,
It's the weirdest like mix of people too, because at the end of the day at IFA, you have all of like the tech nerds and business people leaving, and coming in for the nighttime conference in the Summer
Everyone's
Garden is like all the cool people in Berlin.
How do we
Torn jeans.
how do we get hidden even?
I think our press badges work. I feel like they work everywhere.
To that point, my press badge does not work because I have it on my phone. This is the Note 7, by the way. Has not
Oh
exploded
my god,
yet.
it hasn't exploded.
Hasn't exploded yet.
Not yet.
They can't scan it.
No.
They can't scan it at all.
Yeah,
Is it because the pixels are all dead on the edges of the Note 7? And
I have no clue.
Has that been happening to a lot of the ones
Yeah.
you've seen? Yeah, I've seen that
a
too.
bunch of people have dead pixels on the edge.
I can't
the
wait to
QA on that phone is boggling.
I'm looking forward to re-reviewing it because I feel like there needs to be some chats had. But
I mean, like, Sasha and I sit on two sides of it. I'm like, Samsung was already kind of taking a bit of a dive, and I think that this is like their moment where they fall. And he's like, what? This is a stumble.
this is a bump in the road, a $7 billion bump in the road, but
$7
they're
billion
gonna
bump.
recover just fine.
I've had a lot of people tweet me whether or not they should go through with the recall, like actually replace the Note 7s that they love and have right now. And I said, you're going to get a new one.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why
Have
wouldn't
you
you
scratched
return
it yet? You get a new one without that scratch.
But people are already getting attached. They're getting like this, you know, they're bonding.
Bonding.
Yeah. I won't give up my device yet. I like this thing.
Exactly.
And how long do they go without a phone?
Well,
good
okay.
question.
I think
Yeah.
that I got an email from Samsung saying that the new one would be on the way in like a week, at which time I can return
Okay.
the
Oh, so you never
So
spend
there's
any
no
time
gap.
with it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. So, favorite devices of IFA?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
the exploding Note
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Exploding Note 7?
No, for me, for the first time ever, it's a convertible, and it's not
Oh,
even
which
a
one?
convertible. It's the one from space, the one from the
sp-
26th century
The
that
yoga
shouldn't
book?
exist. The yoga book.
The yoga book.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So I said this in the video hands-on that I did, but we saw this thing in very early prototype stage at MWC. And we're not allowed to photograph it. We're not allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to like do anything. But I've been sitting for 6 months going, I can't wait to share this
With
with
like
the
high
world.
anxiety and like
Yeah.
finger on the button,
Every day
sharing,
waking up,
every waking up thinking
It's like,
about it.
"Hey, yoga book. I mean, no, it didn't even have a name. But so that it's going to be, I think, kind of uncomfortable to type on long term. I think not a lot of people are going to go for it. I don't see myself using the pen a lot. But just every time I look at the thing or touch it, in any way,
The
I
design.
feel like I'm reminded that I'm living in the future, and it's
Yeah.
my favorite thing.
It is what tablets are supposed to be in a way, right? Like,
I mean, mine-
just sleek enough to have a lot of extras in it. Obviously, the keyboard and
Yeah.
the digitizer and all that stuff. So, I'm almost there.
You're
So
almost there.
for me, it's the melding of the two things that I can't give up: paper and a pen.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I hate styluses, right? On my Surface Book, it's in the box, so I don't lose it.
Yeah.
Right? Literally, like I don't.
But it clicky.
I know. I do that all the time. I just sit there
But it-
nervously. like,
yeah,
you know.
but it clicky. It's
I
like a pen.
No. I even on the note,
Here you
it's
go.
definitely not a thing for me.
You just hold
Just,
it.
just do it a couple
Hold it.
times. Just do
I
it a couple
lost
times.
I lost the stylus like 10 minutes after
What?
on the note on all of them.
It buzzes when you
there's
walk
just a
away
whole-
without it. It lets
I just
you
think
know.
it's vibrating. I'm like, oh, a message. Oh.
But in terms of the yoga book, you don't like that precision with it. Like if you're
No. So like I like that that they're blending the use of traditional pen with
Yeah.
paper onto it. The only thing that I found very strange is that yes, you can write onto it, but it doesn't transcribe. You need third-party software for that. If they were going to do one thing, they should have done third-party software for transcribing my handwritten
I
from
guess.
paper onto pen.
See, it's funny because you,
You
and I
can
are
get-
exactly the opposite, though. Because like every time the note came out with a feature like that, it's like, look, it magically transcribes, and I'm like, this is the most cumbersome way I've ever input text.
Yeah, but so like no, but think about this job, right? Like I have to make eye contact with people sometimes, otherwise it's rude. Right? And so like I can type, right? But it's very obtrusive. It's very like in your face, and
a lot
then
easier for
and
you.
then so suddenly like I'm just taking notes and I'm like
Yeah.
and I'm flipping the page and I'm still like giving lots of affirmative nodding and they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all into my affirmative nods and my
Meaning
writing.
to ask you for more nods.
the one thing that takes me away from like that kind of takes me away from the immersion of the yoga book is I use a mechanical keyboard when at home. So I like so when I'm thinking, I lightly tap the home keys trying to figure out what am I gonna say, what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
But on this, it's going to be like ASDF, JKL. Yeah, it's going to be all of that just
Yeah.
coming down. And also typing on that thing, it's just, I'm not used to it yet.
So for me, the thing was, I expected it to have force touch. To be honest with you,
Sorry.
right? Like when you're typing on it, that the vibration is key specific,
Yeah.
right? It just vibrates.
yeah.
You're like.
Right,
It's
like-
not actually useful for me to like hone my accuracy or like to have like a position, like even like a center key, like where you maybe want the
Yeah.
middle,
Did
something
you-
like that.
Did you notice though that the keys when they're projected they have a simulation of
Of
the
the
center
ledge.
bars on
Yeah.
there of the ledge? and
I
you're,
was just like, that's
feeling
so
for
good.
it.
I'll feel for it. Right there, right there.
You could adjust the vibration intensity too.
You
could take it
but
on
at
down
the
to like a tiny little
yeah,
buzz.
it's true.
Oh, the real question here, Android or Windows?
Ah, that's
Windows.
a good. Wow, no hesitation.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Word.
Well, Word up
Word.
indeed.
Word.
But, no, Microsoft Word.
Yeah,
You can Word on
Microsoft Word. Yeah.
I think I'd have to choose Android. I've used Windows 10 on a lower spec system before. I feel bad because I always kind of trash the Surface 3. I love my Surface Pro 4, but the Surface 3 I had a really rough time with on Windows 10.
Actually,
so I'm a little worried about
you
that.
are right. I did have a hard time on RT, and like it was incredibly limited.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that Android has grown up enough yet.
I use a Pixel C all the time, and
I know.
I like it.
Come on,
I
come
would.
on.
Okay, there are two things here. I do use a lot of Android applications that would work well on the Yoga Book, but the things that I really want to use are all on Windows. You know, even
Lightroom.
Photoshop and Lightroom and all that.
But you're not going to be running like Lightroom on the Yoga Book,
That's
right?
the other thing. You
Yeah.
can't even run it. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
that's my biggest issue with the Yoga Book is that it's such a great idea that just needs a little bit more
So,
time so I can do all
yeah.
the things I want to do on it.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, so I gave it best, like most innovative product, not because it's gonna sell, not because I'm gonna use it and I'm gonna think it's wonderful, but I think it's an amazing first attempt at what could be a new product category.
Yeah. I
Like
think
legitimately, I think like we could come into this space where they could make that a lot more useful with the paper and pen, where they could kind of like blend that space between tablet and notebook a little bit more.
Sure.
Right. So I think it's a very good first effort.
give it a little more power too. A couple of the
Yeah.
Android Central guys said the same thing. They're really excited about the next generation
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I think that's how I feel as well.
yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I did find photo and video editing software that works really well on Android, so I could bridge that
Which
gap.
ones?
Adobe Clip.
Adobe Clip, really?
Yeah, Adobe Clip is great for video.
Is it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
All
You just
right,
have to fiddle a
downloading it
little
right
bit,
now.
yeah.
Okay.
But there is Lightroom for Android.
Which
Power Director is another good
oh,
one. if you're
$5
Power
starting
Director is
video.
great.
$5 though.
$5 whole dollars?
I think it's $5.
Forget it.
Well, Adobe Clip, you don't even have to pay. You just have to sign up for an Adobe ID.
Ah,
So.
Yeah, actually, Power Director, you're right. I use it on Windows when I don't need to. If it's just a one take, because
Yeah.
it's just really up. It's so fast.
cutting it up. Yeah.
So fast.
So is your answer Yoga Book for IFA?
for best product?
Yeah.
What were your favorite
Your,
products?
yeah, your pay rate.
Honestly, I liked the DJI gimbal.
The mobile?
I
haven't
didn't
touched
see
it yet.
it.
I haven't
It's
touched it yet.
sick.
So you walk around, is that the
My
one with
video.
the ball
I'm
camera?
like, "Woo."
It is the ball camera, but they've taken that out, and now it's a mount for smartphones.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's just as good in terms
as
of
good.
keeping it stable. I would love to try that.
Yeah,
That
it's really
sounds
good.
Great.
Yeah. It's,
And
it's really
best
good.
part, $200.
Yeah.
200?
Yeah.
That's really a lot less
In
than I
Europe,
expected.
unfortunately, like €340, but in the US, more reasonable.
Well, the conversion rate, you know.
yeah, the conversion. Is, yeah, that's what
That's
what
it.
happens.
Yeah. Their camera app apparently is one of the best parts about it because you can actually
Tracking.
box out a part of the frame and it will look for what is in that frame to
It
keep
will track
tracking.
it.
Oh, I just ordered a head that does that.
Return it.
What's it?
You're done.
You're
Return
done,
it.
you don't want it.
I pre-ordered it. It's not going to be delivered forever. I forgot what the name of it is, but we'll see if it works or not. I don't know.
So the Osmo Mobile.
The Osmo Mobile.
Okay.
I like that one. I also do like the Spin 7's nice. The Spin 7's really
I
good.
just cut my video of that
Yeah,
sucker. Wait, you don't
so-
like it?
Swift.
Oh, the bezels. The bezels are massive.
But
It's a whole millimeter thicker, bro. Get out of here.
I like the Swift.
I like the Swift, but they like the fact that there is absolutely no upgradability at all in it.
yeah.
Okay, I get it's super thin. You can't go to i7. Fine.
We don't use the term netbook anymore. It's basically a netbook, right?
Yeah, it's just a notebook now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
no.
Ultrabook has gone away. Thin and light seems to be the thing.
No, Ultrabook is still a thing.
It is not still a
14
thing.
inches with a dedicated graphics card, Ultrabook.
It's not Ultrabook. even
None
Intel
of
has
these
given
things
up.
have dedicated graphics. I can't stand
I
it.
know, but that Predator X21.
Oh my god!
Oh
what
my
a
god!
monster! Did you
Okay,
end up filming
that?
that?
Might
No,
be
I did
my,
not.
That might be my product of the show.
Predator,
actually.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because honestly, the eye
'cause of the-
tracking, is legit.
So it's got it has eye tracking built in.
It has eye tracking built in, and then I did a first-person shooter game on it. And like, it's cheating. You're like, yeah,
instant?
killing everyone with your eyes.
Okay.
man.
You just convinced me. I play Overwatch a lot, so just so
FYI.
I would like to try that then.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like what you would see in a briefcase from a James Bond movie.
Well, it's
It-
eight.
it
It's
does.
eight. It's 8
Yeah.
kilos. It's not in any. It's on like a truck. We have to carry it.
I was gonna say you have to have a rolling suitcase just
You know what?
for this thing.
It should have been that form factor. It should have been kind of like a small briefcase
With a
you take
pop-out
somewhere
handle.
and you open it up.
Combination lock on the lid.
exactly. And you need your best friend with you for the dual
Yeah, but
biometrics.
Yes. I want to do all that. I want to take it to a Starbucks and unpack it and set it up for a half hour and then just open Notepad and write something. Close it all up again and leave.
Like
it has
two
5 fans, right?
5 fans, 8 heat pipes, 2 GTX 1080s,
Mechanical
2
keyboard.
1080s, mechanical keyboard. The flip over to a touchpad from the number pad, you get to choose.
Oh,
There's even
yeah.
like a screen up top where you can see the fan, and there's another panel. I don't know if it's a movie, but there's like a monster that looks 3D that's coming to get me. I was like, what is happening right now?
What's going on with this monster?
We were trying to get that footage. Did you end up getting that footage?
I did not.
Okay, so we were chilling out at Acer.
I made a yelling at the computer 3-minute, 4-minute video.
Yeah, I have to watch it then.
See,
I'm
literally,
jealous.
there were people just playing on it for 15 minutes
Seriously,
at a time. We
yeah.
couldn't get in for footage.
There was a lineup.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, everyone wants to see the thing because
Yeah.
it's just so ostentatious. But speaking of something nobody's gonna buy, like I mean, I don't think that they made it to sell in mass
$5,000?
quantity. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I don't
Right,
think so
like, But I
either.
love that they just straight up. It's kind of like the Swift 7 in a weird way. Like it's the opposite extreme. It's like
Yeah.
we made this to demonstrate that we can do this.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're Acer. Nice to meet you because formerly you may not have heard of us.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean? Like I mean, in
agreed.
computing, they're not
Acer's
an
back
unknown name.
though.
But it's,
Like I liked Acer several years ago.
you
right?
were
and
prescient about it.
I was like meh,
Meh.
meh. I mean, like, you can, like, take it apart and you're like, oh, one of the Wi-Fi antennas not connected. That's why I have weak signal. Like, honestly, like when I was really reviewing Pride, I open them up and I look around and I'm like, oh, Acer, you
don't know.
tried so hard.
I'm the weirdo in this group because I still use MSI.
I still
right.
think MSI should be, like, paying all of your bills for the fact that you're using them. 'Cause I don't know anyone who uses an MSI.
Android Authority's videos powered by MSI.
Powered by MSI, honestly.
I'm telling you, 14-inch laptop with a dedicated graphics card. There's a 970 in that thing. I love it.
But what about Asus? Asus has some really nice laptops with dedicated graphics now.
but
Core
they're
i7.
They're never in the Mesa. I could never.
They're not
see-
here in the Mesa.
They never get a booth at
Yeah,
like
they
almost
never
any
get a
trade
booth.
show. They're always in like a hotel. Like,
hotel.
it's
I
nice.
love, I
but-
love Asus. I just never bought one of them, so I can't
Oh.
say anything about it.
I'm gonna hook you up with a review sample.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, get
I'm
another
gonna
thumbs
do
up
it.
here.
David, I'm committing you. I'm committing you right now. And Nick, you're all committed.
Totally fine. Totally fine. This is the first show that I've done where I'm actually like taking a look at and not really reviewing, but seeing and reporting on computing rather than just Android.
Well, because the
I'm
AA,
learning a lot.
the
Oh,
AA
me too.
Empire.
Actually, like that's
Oh,
why.
is this your,
that-
welcome to my world.
This is- it's crazy.
Thank you for finally covering the entire
it's
ecosystem.
daunting.
It's very daunting. Yeah.
I used to dismiss all laptops ever, and now I like have to
we
look at all
have
this
to
stuff.
zoom out.
God.
You have to zoom out. Oh my
Because
god.
everything's big.
Yeah. How do
Yeah, and
you
also
shoot
the
laptops?
future of
What?
mobile computing that we once envisioned did not come to pass.
Well,
we are not currently all using tablets and
Yeah,
getting our text
exactly.
messages on our. I mean, I'm getting my text messages on my smartwatch.
Look at this humongous
but
thing.
what's the matter with this? This is great.
Is
There's
that,
nothing
is
wrong.
that a G-Shock?
This is a Casio WSD
Oh, you
F10.
totally have
Yeah,
one.
I totally
oh
have.
my god!
It is the greatest.
Sasha made the most fun of this of this product at CES continuously for the longest I've ever heard him mock a product.
Are you serious?
At once. I
waiting
think
for
the
my
video
shower.
is still
I'm in the
online.
hallway. I wish he was in
like,
here again.
Let me show you. Oh.
You know what's funny? I used to make excuses for it because I'm like, you need all that room for a barometer. Like, come on. Like, of course. And now the S3 comes out with this like barometer altimeter combo in this
Oh man,
really
that thing looks like a
small
like
package.
the biggest like tag hewer.
It's not a big watch. Everyone is saying the Gear S3 is a big watch. I can't agree.
It's just because it's bigger. It's not that.
It's 40. The Moto 360 is 46 millimeters.
Yeah, but this one's got like the huge lugs and the big bezel. It's thicker.
The Moto 360 has huge lugs.
Yeah.
The Gear S3 has similarly sized lugs.
I don't know.
No one said the Moto 360 when it launched was like, oh, it's so huge. Like someone
I
literally
did.
ran a
I
headline.
didn't say it was
where
huge.
Like,
I did say it
it's
was
one of the
bigger.
biggest smartwatches you can buy. I don't think that's true.
Well,
this is one of the biggest smartwatches
that
you
is
can buy.
that is for sure.
The Gear S3 is
Agreed.
not as big as I don't get this. Now, that
Now.
being said, excuse
That being
me,
said, mhm.
but I know that you have very strong and valid feelings about small smartwatches not being
Yeah.
made widely available, and I
Yeah.
agree with a lot of them. So how do you feel about Samsung's position that like, well, if you don't like the Gear S3, no problem. Buy the Gear S2. It's still on sale.
I told them that they better make it pretty.
They better pretty up the S2.
I'm like, you know the company Swatch?
Oh god.
Maybe you could take a page from them.
Really?
That's what I said in my meeting.
You suggested that they make a
see.
Swatch, a Samsung Swatch watch.
Yeah.
Swatch.
I said,
Swatch,
take
Swatch.
take the S2. You're not doing anything with it now. Give it to Swatch.
I will say
Yeah,
though,
so
I actually
Jesus.
like that move that they're not replacing the previous one that is still
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
I actually
I mean,
that
like
they did
legit,
that.
women aren't really wearing that many smartwatches, anyways. If you look at like the Huawei ones, I mean, like I like wearing this blingy thing in topaz. I'm like, yeah, thanks, no thanks. You're like,
Yeah.
we'll get you one. I'm like, in pink, thanks.
I
Well,
did.
they
I
did
did
cite
meet
a lot of market research on that.
I did meet a girl who was wearing a Pebble. I almost got down on one knee. I have to say.
Who was wearing a Pebble?
Yeah.
An original Pebble?
No, time.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
When are you guys ever gonna do a dual review?
We're working on it.
Are you
Are we
really?
talking about this?
I don't know if we
It's
can
like
do it on the air.
news to me.
We should.
Okay.
Because that commits us, right?
Yeah. This is true. This is
We
our
have to do it.
motivation. Yes.
Yeah. So, yes, our first shared review,
Yeah.
collaborative review, will be
The Pebble.
the Pebble 2
Because that's the one coming.
and or Pebble Time 2.
And or
Whichever
well, that one's coming later.
one-
We could do that one too.
Whichever one comes first.
Yeah, whichever one
Okay.
comes first. I'm pretty sure it's a Pebble 2. So that would be the one.
Okay.
Coming soon to a YouTube
Can,
review.
can I
Coming
hand you
soon
a,
at Mr. Mobile.
can I hand
and
you a knife and you can like
Android.
blood swear on it now?
Yeah.
I got.
Would you bring me that large Klingon knife over there, please?
Well, okay. I will take a somewhat different stance on what my favorite device is of IFA. I love the Osmo Mobile, but you may not need it when you got 5-axis stabilization on that Xperia XZ.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Okay.
I'm gonna make a point right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ridicule you. I just was very surprised.
Yeah, incredulity happening right now. Is that a word right? Yeah. Anyway,
Incredulity.
I'm gonna make one statement, and we may or may not have enough time to actually elaborate on this, but I think the power user is finally back. The Note 7 with its 64 gigabytes and the S Pen and larger battery micro SD card, the upcoming LG phone, whatever it might be, like, if the rumors are correct, there's a lot that phone can do. And then now we have Sony coming in with a great, what on paper sounds like a great camera package. And from what I saw already, I like the interface. It's really good. They have a 5-axis stabilization, triple autofocus, a 13 megapixel front-facing camera with 2K of video recording, if I'm not mistaken.
And they didn't screw up the launch. It's only 1 week for the X Compact and 3 weeks for the
And confirmed to be
Where,
coming
though?
to the US.
Yeah.
Sometime, without a fingerprint sensor, probably. And only on one carrier, probably.
I'm thinking they're going to release it
Whoa.
unlocked.
Easy.
I'm just so done
It's not
with
going to
them.
be, if it's not tied to a carrier, that's good news for it.
Yeah.
To me, I think an unlocked phone, because you're not going to need, they're not going to have that problem with like the fingerprint scanner or anything like that, or only having it on T-Mobile. It's going to be the XZV
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But nobody's going to buy it unlocked.
I know.
Nobody's going to pay Sony money for like...
This is the year that I'm not disappointed in Sony for not iterating enough. I'm not disappointed in them because they're not going to sell.
I'm disappointed in the bezel size. To be honest with you, like
That's
it is.
never bothered me.
No, but the bottom one is just so big, and then like it's actually longer than last generation. So like if I really want to try one hand, I'm just like, and then I make that sound, and everyone's like,
Everyone's like,
what is she
Are you
doing?
all right?
And I'm just trying to reach the notification bar.
Can I jump in on the back of that,
Yeah.
actually?
Yeah, go for
Because
it.
I'm not, for once, I'm not disappointed in Sony because when I was done being underwhelmed by those phones, I went to another part of the booth and held their $1,000 gold Walkman.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And oh my God, that was so much fun. I'm not an audiophile by any stretch of the imagination. I will not appreciate those raw files, but seeing Walkman brought back in this very ostentatious form that you have to plug 2 headphone cables into was a very profound experience. But also, no one will buy those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got to spend half an hour with one of the product managers this morning, and I was kind of just like, I love it. I love what you've done, and I'm glad you didn't screw it. But he actually was like selling me on a lot of. Did you know that like if your alarm is set for 8 a.m., it'll keep the battery at 80% until 7, and then top up the rest of it to like double the battery life?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was
It's
like,
the
oh my
battery
God.
pack for the Moto Z.
Same thing on the Moto Z. Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Who
it
else
does
is-
that smart
who
charging
else-
at 80%.
Who else is doing that? Just Moto?
I think so.
As far as I know,
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
it's just the power pack, whatever you call it.
Just the power pack.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Off grid.
The Toomey or the Incipio or the
Incipio.
yeah.
Okay, we only have a couple minutes left. Predictions for the rest of the year. Because that'll take 1 minute each. Totally. Sorry.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
We're
on it.
Because I have become a bit of a more of a power user now. Because
Yeah.
actually, if you go to Android Authority, the 2 vlogs that I did here were all done on this.
Okay.
Now, because of that, because I've had such a good time with it, 4K, 2K on the front, all that, I'm really excited for what LG's got in store for us. I think I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the second chapter of the wearables war, where we have a new version of the Apple Watch rumored. We have a new Android Wear version coming up. We have new Pebbles coming
Pebble,
up.
yeah.
So like, and we haven't seen new Android Wear hardware of really standing in a little while. And so all of that together is
Well, Polar.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm mainstream. I don't mean to dismiss it. So I think it's going to be really fun when all these manufacturers get a chance to take another crack at
Yeah.
the thing that they didn't really do right the first time, because it's a hard thing to do, not because anyone's dumb. It's just difficult. So it's going to be fun to see round 2. Fight.
Very
Yeah.
nice. I'm excited. Rest of the year. Connected cooking. Totally abandoning.
Can we go for another half hour just on that?
Just going to abandon
Yeah?
smartphones and laptops. Just
gonna go for
all in
that.
on connected
Also, when
cooking.
Samsung brought out that fridge, you went crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I was
use
like,
that-
oh my God.
That Windows 10 fridge from LG. You can have a good time with that.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
live tiles. With,
I was all in
on
on the
your
sous
ice
vide
cream
cooking
maker.
in the washing machine earlier. I was like, what? No, for me, it's definitely Thin and Lights. like notebooks and thin and lights, and like this like new form factor for like the ZenBook 3. I was really impressed by that. I'm having heavy arguments on the internet about like Intel's new branding. If you guys are covering notebook now, I'm sure that you'll know that this Y series Core i7 and i5
Yes.
is a bit of a is the user going to get confused? But honestly, like the burst mode on the processor is totally there. I'm one of the few people who's reviewed it, and everyone's giving me a hard time, but I'm going to stand by it. And I think that these like new really thin machines are going to be very mainstream, not like before, where it's just like, but if you want it, just wait. Oh, okay, now it's ready. I think. Yeah, so I think that's finally there. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
It was wonderful to be
Tech
back on
Lounge
the air
wouldn't
with
be
you.
complete without us here on the internet.
The happy IFA to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up, and Sasha's going to come back in with another very exciting Tech Lounge guest.